जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम राम। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधे। जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेवा सुभद्रा माई जयो सुदर्शना जयो निताय चैतन्य जयो निताय चैतन्य निताय चैतन्य जयो निताय चैतन्य जयो जयो प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जयो प्रभुपाद हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Okay, we'll continue from where we left last week. It was a wonderful session by His Grace Kartikeya Prabhu. I'm sure many of you attended. He's a wonderful speaker, someone who inspires me a lot with his sadhana. So, thank you, Murli Priya Prabhu, for inviting me, giving me an opportunity to hear the class, hear a little bit of this. And I'm sure you're sitting at the back because there is fan. This fan is not working. Is this working? It'll be air for me. It's okay. Prabhu, I think I'm okay. I think Prabhu, you're okay with that? We are fine, Prabhu. No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Okay. We'll directly get into today's shloka and then we can do some discussion. We okay? I'm audible at the back, no disturbance. We are okay. Fine. Indriyas indriyarthe. Indriyasyarthe. Sorry. Indriyas indriyasyarthe. रागद्वेषौ विवस्थितौ रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नो तयोर्न वासम् आगच्छेत् तयोर्नावसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ इन्द्रियस् इन्द्रियास्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ इन्द्रियस् इन्द्रियास्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नो वसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Devotees can read. इन्द्रियस् इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Vasha. You Vasham. Vasham. इन्द्रियस् इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Any other devotee? इन्द्रियस् इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावशमागच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Anyone else? इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावशमागच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नावशमागच्छेत् तौ हि अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? One time, Srila Prabhupada was giving a class in one of the foreign locations, and he recited a shloka, and he told the audience, please repeat. After he finished, he asked the audience to read, and the audience very hesitant because it's normal, right? So I might not read it properly. What will others think? You know, you have some kind of an disturbance. Ki, kya मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ? Is it even possible? So Prabhupada then spent the time, first half or more than half of the time, asking each devotee to read. To your capacity, you can read. So last time also I see the same familiar faces who are reading. For people who are not reading, don't hesitate. I mean, shloka number is already sent. इतनी भी क्या गलती हो सकती है? So how much mistake can we make? It's only probably 30 seconds. Okay, you read, you move on. If you do a mistake one time, the next time you'll be more confident कि पढ़ के आ जाएंगे. ठीक है? So next time probably we'll see more faces, more people reading. I don't want the same familiar faces, you know, always reading it. Okay, we'll move on. We'll read the word for word meaning. Indriyasya, please repeat. Of the senses, indriyasya arthe, in the sense objects, raga, attachment, dveshau, also detachment, vyavastitau, put under regulations, tayoho, of them, na, never, vasham, control, agachet, one should come, tau, those, he, certainly, asya, his, paripantinau, stumbling blocks. Translations and purpose by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: there are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Purport: those who are in Krishna consciousness are naturally reluctant to engage in material sense gratification. But those who are not in such consciousness should follow the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures. Unrestricted sense enjoyment is the cause of material engagement, but one who follows the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures does not become entangled by the sense objects. For example, sex enjoyment is a necessity for the conditioned soul, and sex enjoyment is allowed under the license of marriage ties. According to the scriptural injunctions, one is forbidden to engage in sex relationships with any woman other than one's wife. All other women are to be considered as one's mother. But in spite of such injunctions, a man is still inclined to have sex relationships with other women. These propensities are to be curbed. Otherwise, they will be stumbling blocks on the path of self realization. As long as the material body is there, the necessities of the material body are allowed, but under rules and regulations. And yet, we should not rely upon this control of such allowances. One has to follow those rules and regulations unattached to them because practice of sense gratification under regulations may also lead one to go astray. As much as there is always a chance of an accident, even on the royal roads. Although they may be very carefully maintained, no one can guarantee that there will be no danger even on the safest road. The sense enjoyment spirit has been current a very long time owing to material association. Therefore, In spite of regulated sense enjoyment, there is every chance of falling down. Therefore, any attachment for regulated sense enjoyment must also be avoided by all men, but attachment to Krishna consciousness or acting always in the loving service of Krishna detaches one from all kinds of sensory activities. Therefore, one should not, therefore, no one should try to be detached from Krishna consciousness at any stage of life. The whole purpose of detachment from all kinds of sense attachment is ultimately to become situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपादान् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे. Okay, Hare Krishna. We have a very interesting shloka today. So let's do a bit of a recap. Again, what I understand from this shloka is that if we have an interactive session, this chapter itself, what is the chapter called? Karma Yoga, right? We are talking about different karmas or the activities that we have been doing. We heard a word called Nishkama Karma. Nishkama Karma Yoga in the beginning of this chapter. What is Nishkama Karma? We'll be discussing that in detail in the later half of this chapter as well. What is Nishkama Karma? What is Kama? Desire, right? Nishkama, non-desire. That means I do an activity without having a attachment or a desire for that activity. We'll keep it as simple as that. There are more details, but I do something without being attached to that activity. Okay. So what we have been learning is that the biggest reason why we have attachment or any kind of an issue with the activities that we are doing is what? What causes the biggest problem? Why are we having the desire for sense enjoyment? What we did learn in the last class? I, me, myself, and who thinks that way? Why am I thinking that way? What are the senses that are causing it? Is my eyes thinking I am the one? My hands, my legs, my nose, my tongue? What is the one that I'm thinking I am this body? False. Thank you. I was just looking for this word called mind. Okay. Most difficult sense to control is our mind. We are clear on that, right? So, how many of you have control over mind? No one. After hearing so much, also, you have not got control. Okay. I've been there for 17, 18 years now, right? So 2008 I started. Still feel that mind is very difficult to control. So mind is obviously very difficult to control. But are there processes that we can put in place so that the mind can be controlled? Okay. Today's topic, when Murli Priya Prabhu called me and said that can you discuss on this topic, the subject is gradual progression. Okay. And trust me, we are not gradually progressing. This is the shortcut. This is the definite shortcut that we have. As you see, I don't know if you have discussed Goloka chart, if you have discussed path back to Godhead. Someday we should discuss on the entire creation, where are we and what is our ultimate goal. In case our goal is to go back into the service of the Lord, right? So the Kali Yuga that we are in is said to be the easiest path to go back. This is the shortest, easiest, and probably the most guaranteed path. And very, very few people pick it up. Okay, I don't think you have a Goloka chart around, right? So you should have that. Someday you should make a session on that. Okay, this Hare Krishna mantra that we chant is our definite guarantee that we can go back. So it's very, very easy. Okay, it is said that the higher planetary systems, it says, Abrahma Bhuvarna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Right? So Krishna tells Arjuna, even if you go to Brahma's planet, you will come back here. Okay, why will you come back here? Because this is the karma bhumi. All the karmic activities, the reactions that we do, and the activities that we do which have reactions happen in this karma bhumi. Higher planetary systems is like a bank balance. You spend जो हमारे पास pious credits है, whatever punya that we have got, you spend it. As long as your bank balance is there, you are there in your vacation. खत्म हो गया, you come back. Office will start, right? So it's the same thing. Once your bank balance is over, your punya balance is over, come back here. Similarly, lower planetary system has its own set of issues. Let's in simple terms, let's assume that you're going to a jail. Once your jail term is over, you'll again be released out of jail. Like that, you go there, you suffer, struggle, whatever, you again come back here. Okay, simple example. This bhumi is got karmic reactions. Now, there are two things in this. One, that you don't do any karmic activity. Is it possible? Not possible. Okay, it's actually possible. Okay, that's what is the whole process about. Okay, so there is akarma, there is sukarma, and there is vikarma. Three types of karma. You've heard these three terms. Karma yoga topic has come, so it's good to discuss this before we get into details. Like sukarma are the good activities, which gives you your bank balance. Right? So punya karma, which you give, it's basically the karma or the sukarma, good activities. Vikarma are those bad activities that you get because of which you get jail term. There's a third type of activity called akarma. These are called non-reacting karmas. They don't give you any karma or any reaction for the activity that you're doing. Okay? Give an example for a sukarma. Can someone give an example for a sukarma? Charity, huh? Sacrifices. Okay, someone said something. Austerities that we perform, all the different homas, yagnas, all those you do this homa yagna, you'll get this, you'll get that, all the reaction that is being spoken about, all these are called sukarma. Charity is the easiest example. It said, इस बार 10 रुपए दे दो, अगले जन्म में जब आओगे तो 100 रुपए वापस मिलेगा. Right? So that is your sukarma. अगले जन्म में यहाँ पे मिलेगा, कहीं और मिलेगा, वो अलग बात है. Okay? But that is sukarma. Give an example for vikarma activities. Little louder. I'm sorry, fan. Vikarma. None of you do any vikarma activities. Okay, stealing, cheating, hurting someone, killing someone, telling lies, right? All those are vikarmic activities. Basically, activities that can give you negative reactions. Okay. Now, tell activities that you are going to perform that are going to give you no karma. If you know this, then today's chapter becomes easy. What activities can you do that gives you no karma? Chanting. Okay, nice. Then yeah, so duties is a very long term. No, this entire karma fits into the duty. The problem is there, right? So you do your duty nicely, you get good karma. As a grihastha, your duty is to take care of society, you take care of your parents, you take care of your children, you take care of, you do charity, you take care of blind school, orphanages, this, everything will give punya karma only. By generally using the word duty. Little twist to the duty. For example, you make nice food, give it to your parents are happy, or your relatives are happy, your visitors are happy, you get punya karma. Same nice food, you offer it to Krishna, give it to them. There is no karma for you, there is phala for them, which is spiritual. Even though they did not ask for it, they did not ask for any punya or papa, they will get what we call as ajnata sukruti. They get sukruti that makes them favorable for Krishna. Okay, somewhere someone gave us the sukruti, or somehow or other, if someone tells, why did you come into Krishna consciousness, why did you start, you might not be able to find that reason, and that reason is what we can call as agnata. Agnata means unknowing. Unknowingly I've created some sukruti, that's gone. So the example of akarma is this food that is offered to the Lord at taken, the prasadam that you take. Otherwise the food can create a lot of sin, right? Because there's so many pieces that are getting affected while the food is being cooked, right? There's so many participants. Someone is cheated, someone is unhappy, someone is very happy, someone is lied because of the money that you gave him to buy. You get reactions for all that. One-sixth of the reaction. I'll probably not go into those details. You might have already heard this. Okay. So, net what we are saying here, three types of activities. What we are trying to understand is, are there activities that we can do which are regulated in nature? That means they are not vikarmic activities, no negative reactions. And instead of being positive reactions, which is pious activities, can I get those reactions which are progressive, or I can progress in my spiritual life? Okay, that's what is probably today's topic that we will try to cover. In this, covering this, we'll try to understand two very important principles that actually hold us back: raga and dvesha. That's the topic today. Raga and dvesha. What is raga? Attachment. Okay, and dvesha, aversion. Dvesha in simple, it is hatred. Hatred, right? So attachment and aversion. These are the two things. Okay. Anyone here who has, I have a nice plan, but I'm not able to do. Or I had planned that today I will wake up at 6 o'clock. Today is Purushottam Adhik Mas. I will wake up at 6 o'clock. I will chant 16 rounds plus 2 rounds, 18 rounds today. And then I woke up at 12 o'clock, sorry, 8 o'clock. Anyone here who has had such a problem? No one? Okay. So anyone here who said that, okay, today I will finish my syllabus by this week, we put the calendar in before exams, we say that, okay, by this Saturday I will finish so much. Sunday, so next Friday, I will do revision. And then the Saturday comes and you have not finished 4 chapters. Happened to us. Why does this happen? Why is it that I've got a certain plan, but I'm not able to fulfill it? Discipline. Someone mentioned that discipline. Yes, very nice word. That I do not have control over what I'm doing. I have a plan. The plan is very nice, but something is holding me back, not letting me do my work, right? So that's one of the things that all of us know. All of us have gone through it, right? So I know it is the right thing to do, but I'm not able to do it. I think recently there was this YouTube ad that came. Some of you might have seen it, wherein it spoke about there is one person, there's some podcast or something in that ad. That person says that, "Arey, this person is able to scroll the whole day, but he's not able to work for 10 minutes sitting in one place." You've seen this ad? I think it became very popular ad that was coming. It says that the person is able to use his mobile, scroll, sit in one place and scroll different videos, whatever Instagrams and other social media and everything, but he's not able to sit in one place and do his work properly. Okay. And the person replied back saying that yes, this discipline is the major problem. Why they are not able to do? There is something that is holding them back. What holds me back is these two. I have an hatred towards either that work or something, or I have an attachment to something else. That means I don't have attachment to the duties that I need to perform. So in the last class, we spoke extensively on the duties. There are some duties that you have to do. You cannot escape, right? Doing the duties in the right consciousness is what we learned. Now, doing the duties is also at some kind of an attachment. For example, how many of you have kids here? Kids going to school, college? We see a lot of people, right? So your kid is studying in the school, exams are just over, the results have probably come. You have a desire, no, my son or my daughter has to get good marks. They have to do this, they have to do that. You have some desire for which you have put some investment, you have given your time, you have given your money, you have found out the best school, college. There is an unsaid attachment to the result of what my son will get, son or daughter. Right? All of us have, right? Is that correct or wrong? It's correct only. As parent, no. As the children will. Correct, no. Yeah, because we know we have been in that rat race ourselves, right? So our marks mattered, and so my son or my daughter has to get a certain mark for them to survive in this rat race in this material world. I have some kind of a desire. I have an attachment where I have zero control of what is going to happen. Come 10th, come 12th, come whatever NEET, JEE, that exam, this exam, I have no control. But I still have a underlying agreement or an attachment that this has to happen. And that attachment, is it good or bad? Well, that's what we are trying to understand. That when you don't have control, the best way is not to have that attachment. Because irrespective of whatever is the result, there is again going to be a next set of attachment. That attachment will not go away. Today I will say, okay, 10th में अच्छा मार्क आना चाहिए, 12th में बढ़िया मार्क आना चाहिए, ओके, नीट में मेडिकल मिल गया, इंजीनियरिंग मिल गया, आईआईटी में मिल गया, एनआईटी में मिल गया, उसकी शादी हो गई, बच्चे हो गए, वो फॉरेन फॉरेन में जा रहा है. You're not asking for me, no. I'm done. Okay, I'm done with thinking of a apartment, a big car, luxury, and all that. Now I'm thinking for someone else. Now, is that attachment? There is an attachment. It's very difficult to let go. We might say that I have got this attachment, I've got this liking, I've all got all this because for someone else. अरे उसकी जिंदगी भी अच्छी रहनी चाहिए. You have the desire, right? All of us have gone through it. So is it right or wrong? Well, frankly speaking, the Shastra say it is wrong because that is going to hold you back. That's what Prabhupada also mentions in the purport, saying that these are things that will not let you progress in the spiritual path. There are very clear black and white areas. There's clear black and clear white. For example, Kamsa had an aversion towards Krishna. The moment aversion is hatred, right? So when the moment Kamsa heard, he was he liked this family very nice, very much. His sister Devaki very much, and all that. But there was a Akashvani that said that the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudev is going to kill you. That moment, the hatred towards the eighth child started. I don't even know how the eighth child is, who is that child, when is he or she going to be born, whatever. But I have a clear hatred. He is a clear dark character. Okay, let's take Duryodhana. What was Duryodhana's problem? Did Duryodhana have attachment or aversion? Attachment? Thank you. Someone else said something else. Yeah. So Duryodhana had attachment for the kingdom. When Pandavaduta came, when Krishna came as Pandavadut and said that give them 5 villages, bhai, 5 villages, the 5 Pandavas, because they are Kshatriyas, they need 5 villages. You're safe, they are safe. He said nothing doing, right? Not even a place which occupies a pin, the tip of a pin. I will not give so much land also. So he was so attached to that royal position. He was very attached towards. More importantly, he was not just attached to it. He also had a very clear hatred towards the Pandavas. He had both. So it's very clear. Dark area, right? So he is black, black and white. Now this is very clear. Now there are times when we have attachment and we have justification or a reason why we are attached. I'm not wrong, ना मेरा attachment तो बनता है, right? So we can justify our attachment, and that is the reason it becomes a very gray area when someone else says, "Let go of your son's 10th marks. Don't worry, it's not your problem." Array, I've spent my time, my effort. I've given him the tuitions, education. I have spent sleepless nights, and then you're asking me to let go of it. If it's for myself, then I'm okay. And that is where our skin disease comes. Prabhupada calls it a skin disease. What is skin disease? Me and mine. You also said that earlier, right? So I, me, mine. I think these are all mine. Their welfare is my responsibility. Their good well-being is my responsibility. My satisfaction is dependent on them. My happiness is dependent on them. Their happiness is dependent on me. All these different cuts that you have, this is called a skin disease. That means my skin is connected to that skin, and I don't want to let go of it. Okay, let's take a very nice example that we have in Shastra. This comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are multiple avatars of Krishna that is mentioned. There's one avatar called Rishabdev. Okay, this comes in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this Rishabdev comes in the Parampara of Swayambhu Manu, and Rishabdev's son is called. Anyone knows the name of Rishabdev's son? Bharat. Bharat Maharaj. We call ourselves Bharat Bhumi. That Bharat Bhumi, the name itself came from this Bharat Maharaj. Extremely popular Kshatriya, extremely well learned, and the perfected Kshatriya. He's one of those who we call as Raja Rishi, like our Yudhishthir Maharaj or Parikshit Maharaj. That means He would do his royal duties as a Kshatriya, but live life as a Rishi. That means not connected, detached. So one day he finally understood. So there is a nice long story that he will die in 7 days. Okay. Anyone likes this story, please read it. It's a beautiful story with lot of takeaways. So he's anyway cursed by a Rishi's son Shringi, saying that in 7 days you will die bitten by a snake called Takshak. Okay. So anyways, he understood that he has 7 days to live. Sorry, sorry, Parikshit Maharaj. My bad, my bad. I diverted. Okay, sorry. Bharat Maharaj. Anyway, this Bharat Maharaj, he decided that he had to let go of his kingdom. Now he has to take, Vanaprastha. He has to go into the forest. He was fully satisfied in his Krishna consciousness. He had all the knowledge that was required. He handed his kingdom over to his son and came to the forest. It is mentioned how he left his kingdom. He was ruling so nicely. You understand that the entire place is named after him, right? So the entire Varsha for next multiple millenniums is going to be named after him, and he's among the most popular kings. His citizens are extremely happy with him, and this Bharat Maharaj suddenly decides, I will have to leave everything and go. And it is mentioned by the acharyas that he left everything as if a person leaves his stool. When you pass your stool and you go to toilet, you're not attached to your items in the toilet, right? Like that, he was absolutely not interested. He just left everything. That was his amount of renunciation. So his attachment was to the top, zero, zero attachment. He did not have any attachment. So he left everything. He comes to the forest very nicely. He practices his sadhu life. His rest of his life is dedicated to serving Krishna. Through this process, Bharat Maharaj actually one day while he was on the bank of a river, he sees a pregnant deer being chased by a wild animal, by a tiger. So when it comes, the deer jumps across the river and the tiger misses it. But the pregnant deer delivers a baby deer. Now the mother is gone, the tiger is gone, the baby deer is left alone. So Bharat Maharaj has, as you know, Jivadaya, we all seem merciful. There's a newborn baby that is there. So he brought it to his ashram and took care of it very nicely. Over a period of time, that deer was always around him, and he always took care of the deer. He wanted to the Bhagavatam, it's very nice to mention. So when he was doing his work, you would see that nothing attacks the deer. The deer has got enough food. The deer has got milk. The deer is safeguarded. It was always running in his mind. And one day the deer disappeared. The deer disappeared, and Bharat Maharaj left his body. While he was leaving his body, what was he thinking? He was thinking of the deer. That Maharaj, who left his kingdom, who left his relatives, friends, multiple wives, everything as if he was zero attached to them, suddenly he's thinking of a deer which doesn't even reciprocate that love because it's left and gone. What do you call this kind of an attachment? Is he right or wrong to have that attachment? He was wrong in having that attachment, okay? Anyone else who supports he's wrong to have that affection, attachment that he showed to the deer? He should have protected, but he should not have had the attachment. Okay, how many of you agree to this? He left his own kids. Somewhere he thought, I am responsible for this deer's welfare. So it doesn't come under attachment, it comes under the concept of compassion. This compassion, the Shastras say, is called misplaced compassion. Compassion for the deer, like Murli Priya Prabhu says here, compassion for the deer is correct. He should have taken care of it. He should have protected, but he should not have built that attachment towards the deer, for which he started thinking more about the deer and less about the Lord. The purpose of his renouncing everything was to think of the Lord. Suddenly you get diverted or deviated. It's not a black and white area. It's not very easy to say. No, after effects, because we know that he was thinking of the deer, he died. And next time, what he became? He became a deer. That's what the Shastra says. Bhagavad Gita says that. Antakale mameva Paranmukta Kalivar, whatever I remember at the time of my death, I become that, right? So he became a deer. But as a deer, he lived very wonderfully. He stayed in one ashram, then he became Jadabharata, and then he delivered himself and also he delivered King Rahugana and a lot of other people. Read Srimad Bhagavatam. Very nice story. Going back to Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj was not a black and white situation wherein he was a Duryodhana or a Kamsa you reject, or an attachment like that what Hanuman had for Lord Ram. And you say, okay, this is white. Hanuman's attachment towards Lord Ram was extreme, but never find a fault to it, right? So he was, his attachment was in the right place at the lotus feet of the Lord. So our situation will also be this, the one in between, wherein a little drift on this side or that side, we might have a problem. Okay, how the Shastras mention here. So if you read, if you see this, there are regulated attachments and aversion. Principles of regulated attachment and aversion. That means I have a defined way of having my attachment and having my renunciations or my disconnects. Okay, what is regulated? No, all of us are not spiritually so elevated that we can have the right attachment and the right detachment. I have to follow my family, I have to take care of a lot of things. But when I regulate myself, like Srila Prabhupada in the purport gives this example of a regulated sex life. Marriage is a license to have regulated sex life. Right? So that's all he mentions. He elaborates on that. That means that anything outside this is your fall down. But if I follow this, I'm not falling down. What? But he also mentions there are accidents possible on the royal roads. It's a very, very famous quote by Prabhupada, right? So you might follow all the rules and regulations very nicely, but even then you might meet with accidents, like what happened with Bharat Maharaj. He was following everything pakka. Suddenly there was an accident which he realized much later in his life. Suddenly you get drifted. Now, for each of us, do we have attachments? Anyone who has zero attachment? Very difficult. Huh? Okay. So I don't need to elaborate on this topic. All of us have attachments, right? So all of us have. Yeah, there are no zeros. Correct. No, there's so many ones here. Yeah. So what is our most common attachment that we have? We are attached to the body. Okay. Family. Okay. Mataji. There comes. No, Prabhuji's think a little different. No, my wealth, my money, my protection, family. हाँ, family matters. उनके लिए पैसा मैटर करता है माताजी. क्या करें अभी? Right. So one of the most difficult attachment that's very visible that we can't give up is our attachment to our mobile phones. हाँ, 2 घंटे नहीं मिला, इतना टेंशन, right? So people are so tensed, 2 hours, 2 hours is a lot of time. Okay, मोबाइल में चार्ज डाउन हो रहा है, full tension. That is just the simplest way to know that we are extremely attached. And our regulations start there. Start there. So how many of you have a timer on your mobile phone on the usage for kids? My son is in 10th. Now he's going to 10th this year. Very simple. He can use his mobile phone for 1 hour a day. 1 hour only. And he decides when he wants to use. So morning is very clear. Maximum 5 minutes. Before he goes to school, उसपे timer on the home screen दिखता है. Maximum 5 minutes he wants to use. The moment he comes back from school, बंदे के पास 45 minutes है with the mobile phone. He wants to check the news, the score, the WhatsApp messages, his friends के साथ जो बात करना है कर लो, and before going to bed 10 minutes. This is allocated time. 1 hour. Okay. How many of us have regulated mobile screen time for ourselves? Can we keep a screen time for ourselves? Technically possible. Huh? Yeah, very difficult. So this is one our first problem, the attachment that we have towards the gossips that are happening in the world. The mobile phone is what it opens the window of opportunity for all the nonsense that we can have an exposure to. Yes, we can use it for the right purposes. For example, my notes are in my mobile phone today, and I keep referring. To prepare that notes, I used the mobile phone. we can use it for the right purposes. While I was preparing my notes, my ting, 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 the different notifications came. One notification gaya, then you're off for 30 minutes. And then you come back, अरे कहाँ पे था? Right? Our attachments are very, very visible in some cases. Some cases, our attachment to our pride, to our ego, to our positions are not very visible. I might be attached to the respect that I'm getting at home or at office, and I can't let go of it. If someone is trying to occupy that place, then I try to do all the things that are possible in my hand to safeguard it. And that one is when your regulated practices come into picture that will help you understand that you don't need to do it. Now, what these regulations, rules and regulations help us? Okay, so you have seen many of you have been on a flight, right? So when you see the air, the flight taking up, take or take off, right? So how long is the uh, runway? Yeah, minimum, right? So it's got about 5 kilometers runway wherein the flight is going and it goes at a huge speed. Well, it starts off slow and then goes fast, 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 fast. At some point in time, the flight takes off. The wheels can go inside. Now the flight is on a free mode. Our rules and regulations to be followed are this runway. So if you see the purport, the first part that Prabhupada says, those who are in Krishna consciousness are naturally reluctant to engage in material sense gratification. How many of us are naturally reluctant for material sense gratification? Not too many hands. How many of us know what is IPL score? Which team is winning? Very silent crowd. No IPL followers here. Very happy. Very happy. Okay. I have a son and a father who can't get out of cricket. Unfortunately, I've been like that throughout my first 30 years of my life before I picked up KC. So, and it's my father, right? So, with that radio, my grandfather used to have it the same house. We have been staying there since I was born. So, all I've seen is that. Okay. So, extremely attached to it. Now it's very difficult to give up this, but a person in Krishna consciousness is not affected by this material sense gratification. I'm not worried about my wealth, my position, my family. I can give this up. But that when you're in that flight mode. But to get to that flight mode where you need to let go of your attachments, you need to pick up speed in your spiritual life. To pick up speed in your spiritual life, you need to follow the path. And that path is your rules and regulations that you need to follow. There are do's and don'ts for everything. For someone, I take some examples, right? So you might have heard of Satyanarayana Puja. Is it good to do? Satyanarayana Puja has lot of falastuti at the end of it saying that you do Satyanarayana Puja, you will get this benefit, that benefit, you get promotion at office, you will get unlimited wealth, you get a good girl to get married. After marriage, what happens, I not guarantee, and all that, right? So it's got its own set of falastutis at the end of that puja. Is it good or bad? You come to a Krishna conscious person, he will say useless. Not bad, but it is useless. अरे रख के क्या करोगे? हमारे कर्म में जो है वो तुमको मिल ही जाएगा. Whatever you are entitled for, you will anyway get. You do only these things to prepone some of your karma or postpone some of the bad karma. End of the day, you will anyway go through it. It's better you take up spirituality and nullify your karma. That's what Krishna says, right? Sarvadharman parityajya mamika sharanam vraja. What is it? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasya. I will remove all your papas. I will remove all your karma. So don't worry. So come to Krishna. Don't worry about this good and bad. So you don't need to worry about the Satyanarayana Puja or other rules and regulations. There are do's, there are don'ts, and there are things that you can obviously avoid. Don'ts are very clear. You have heard of the four regulative principles. You know the four principles that you're not supposed to do, or four regulative principles. Yes, all of us know. Correct. And do you know what are the do's? A, B, C, D, E. You are not allowed to tell. No? Let's hear from somewhere at the back. Yes, anyone? What is A? Okay. B. How many of you are reading every day? Okay, very nice. C. Very nice. D. Distribution. बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बी में आ जाता है वहाँ कुछ. E is eating, डी So you have so many versions that are told here. Okay. So D in simple to start with is diet that you always eat Krishna Prasadam. Okay. D also has, what did you tell Mataji? You said diet. Someone else said something. Diet was correct. I said E is for eating. What are you trying to say? Diet is correct. DT worship, right? So Mataji also said DT worship. That's also correct, but at a later stage. First तो पहले कृष्ण को खिला दो, then we will figure out उनको और क्या क्या कर सकते हैं उनके साथ, right? So D starts with diet. Most important part of D is a very strong desire that I have, that I want Krishna. As we progress, D also stands for desire that you have, that you want Krishna. What is E? Not eating. वो D में cover हो गया. Evolving. Evolution. We are all evolving only. 84 lakh species are there. Evolving in Krishna consciousness, okay? So E is a very important part for all devotees. It's called etiquettes. The etiquette that we follow in Krishna consciousness, right? So the etiquette, how you treat other devotees, how you act with other devotees. They are very, very important for your spiritual progress. As you progress, you will associate, and that's where your raga, dvesha will come. I like this devotee, I don't like this devotee. I'm okay to go with this person, I'm not okay to go with this person. I'm happy with this service, I'm not happy with this service. All this is also part of raga, dvesha. Okay. And how many of you like kirtan? How many of you like singing as a lead singer in kirtan? Any hands go up? Next time they will sing. See, right, nice. You should have the desire. Others who don't have the desire, will desire what you want. Okay, when I came to Krishna consciousness, I'm talking about 2008 I started, but by 2011 I was attending a program. And Kripamay Gaurang Prabhu, some of you might know, he's invited here yet. He should probably come, right? So he's a very nice speaker. So Kripamay Prabhu asked, we were all very juniors, I was in my early 30s and just started the class. And he said, how many of you have a desire that you want to give a class on Vyasasana? How many of you have a desire that you want to sit on a Vyasasana, give a class? That question I'm asking here. How many of you have a desire? Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else who has got a desire that you want to sit here and give a class? ऑनलाइन कर लेंगे ना ऑनलाइन का so you sit and you are giving a class, that place becomes Vyasasan. It will not look like a red chair and it's not like this. Vyasasan is when you represent the parampara, you act as a representative of Vyasadeva. So when you are giving a class. So, see, Mataji, you don't give class? You are not giving Mataji, you give. I thought you give. What about others? I think I can't, so someone else's problem, not your problem. Don't worry. No, it's not your problem. You have a desire. Then the Lord's problem. You need to understand the difference between what you can do, what you can't. They're very clear, Mataji. You have a desire, go tell the Lord. It is the Lord's problem after that. When Murli Priya Prabhu said that they are going to open a center here, his desire was to have the center. People coming in, how will he manage? Where is the Prabhu? He left, is it? He's left. Okay, I'm sorry. So then the Lord will act. He will send people. He will send personalities who can help. He will send the setup. He will send the money that is required. You will have to understand. You don't need to have all this. You need to have a very strong desire, and that strong desire should be truthful. You should. Strong desire is not for sense. I will sit on Vyasasan, then I get recognition. I get one garland. That is not the purpose of that, right? No, I am sitting here representing the parampara so that if I have to give a 1 hour class, I need to prepare for 6 hours to give a 1 hour class, right? So then you are ready, right? So that is what should be my desire. As you progress, you will understand. Keep your desire. And here, whoever has not lifted their hand, the moment is very simple. This whole movement works on the fact that I am here to serve, not to take service. I'm here to serve. Matlab, I come here, I hear lecture, I give it to someone else. I like Krishna You like anyone who's been to probably a Disneyland or probably a Interstellar movie, you liked it, you went back and told 10 friends, you told your relatives, friends, saying that, oh, you go watch this movie or go to that Disneyland, go to this hill station, don't go to that hotel, don't go to this place. You have done that. That's what you're doing here also. You like Krishna, go tell others you like Krishna. And that is all it matters, right? So then you are representing Vyasadeva. So person in Krishna consciousness doesn't have to worry. So if we are worried, that all of us, none of us lifted our hand that we are not out of sense gratification, we are worried. That means that we have a some way to go. Now the flight in the high runway, right? So you understand, we are in different places going at different speed. The worst part, Prabhupada says at the end, right? Don't take this for granted. Mouse is not working. Okay. Therefore, one should not detach himself from Krishna consciousness. On the fast runway, don't try taking a U-turn. Right? Please understand. You want to fly. Taking a U-turn will crash your flight rather than going back to materialistic way of life. Right? So today, probably the takeaway that I would like to call out is that we all have our attachments. We all have our hatred. But when you follow a regulated path, with the desire that I want to get out of this attachment, then the path itself will help you. For that, fundamentally have association, devotee association. They will tell you what are the right and wrongs that you're doing. Like I said, when I came 2008, 9, 10, big cricket fan. I was my cricket team's captain at school or college. So 2011 World Cup. I'm in the temple on a Sunday. I'm having my prasadam. There was a very senior Vaishnava next to me. I asked him, प्रभु एक क्रिकेट का जो अटैचमेंट है वो जा नहीं रहा है प्रभु इट्स यू हैव अ बिग प्रॉब्लम ही सेड डोंट वरी प्रभु 2015 वर्ल्ड कप का टारगेट कर लेना आप 2011 I'm sitting there I'm saying world cup is happening he said next world cup you plan that you will not watch that is what we should plan it's a long term plan okay I'm not saying all of us have 4 years to go and what happened in 2015 is a different story in my case but 2015 I got initiated. So it happens that if it truly works when a devotee says, right? So that attachment can go away, it can reduce. Put effort towards it. When you give time for Krishna, then this automatically works. Okay. We have few more minutes, Prabhu. Now, how many of us want to get free and fly? 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still counting. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so people at the back are able to hear me because the whole purpose of the class was we need to fly ourselves free. So people have not lifted their hand. I'm hoping some message is going through. Okay, so if someone tells that there is a 5 kilometer runway and it takes 30 minutes to cross this runway, but today we have a special offer wherein I have a charter plane that will fly in next 5 minutes. How many of you want to take that charter plane? Okay, right? We also want shortcuts, and one of the shortcuts is beginning today. What day is today? Sunday the 17th. It's Purushottam Mass, right? So I'll probably spend few seconds there. Then we can go to any Q&A that you might have. Is screen visible, right? So how many of you know the concept of Adhika Mass? Then we'll come to Purushottam. You know the concept of Adhika Mass? How did it come? Yes, for devotees who don't know, I'll make it very short. So 30 days we have calendar, like we have a leap year and one day becomes extra. But in our Hindu calendar, we have a 29 and a half days kind of a concept, okay, between Purnami and Amavasya, that Purnami to Purnami, next Purnami and so on. So there is a gathering that happens about 3.5 years. In 3.5 years, there becomes an extra month which has one full Purnami to Purnami or Amavasya to Amavasya. Basically, that one full month is extra. And this month is called Adhik Mas. This Adhikar, extra, Adhika is extra, right? All of us know. This extra month is 1 month wherein no festivals happen. So anyone who knows it, so no one does marriages, Graha Pravesh, no one does any festival. There is no festival that comes in the next 1 month. Okay, so there is in spiritual world everything is a person. Everything is a person. A day, a night. Ekadashi, you have heard of Ekadashi is a person. In Puri Jagannath, they have tied her. There's an Ekadashi deity that is there, and so on. So, like this, there is this Adhikamas personality also who is there. She's very upset because people are saying that this is such a useless month. Mala Mas, it's called Mala, means dirty or unnecessary month. So, people, she's very, very upset. The story is very nice. I would request Prabhuji to probably forward it to the group on how the whole conversations happens with Pandavas and everything. But keeping the story short, this Adhik Mas once, I mean, she went to Lord Vishnu and Narayan. Narayan took her to Lord Krishna, and they decided that this Mas is feeling very sad. She's gone all the way to Goloka to see Krishna, and Krishna says that there is no place for sadness in Goloka. There is no place for an existence of something, someone being sad here. Okay, and she says that this is the situation. No one likes me. I'm just being hated everywhere, right? So this hatred, this dvesha is all around me, and all I can sense is that. So Krishna says, don't worry, I will do one thing that between you and me, right? So this Adhikamas will now be as good as me, and you will become Purushottamas. He's called Purushottama, right? Which chapter is called Purushottama Yoga? 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Purushottama Yoga. Purushottama, Purusha Uttama is Krishna himself. He says, this month will now be called the Purushottam Mass. You don't need festivals. You don't need anyone else, any other ritualistic activities. This 1 month, I guarantee you everything to happen 1000x for spiritual activities. Okay, so one of the months that we usually hear. So if you read the story, you will anyway know. One of the months we usually like or hear is the Kartik Mass, right? So all of us heard of Kartik Mass around the October type, where we go for Dham, we do Damodar Leela, Damodar Aarti, we do saying that anything that I do, there's a 100 times benefit, and if I do the same thing in the Dham, I get 100 into 100 times the benefit. This Purushottam month has 1000 times the benefit. Whatever activities you do, just spiritually connected. Okay, so instead of having a 5 kilometer runway, having whatever time it takes for you to get free, fly off, you now have a shorter duration wherein your progress can become extremely quick. That depends on your desire. Okay, starting today. Okay, there are few things that you can do. These are things recommended by the different acharyas, saying that do these things to progress quickly in spiritual uh, world, right? So spiritual life. One of the things is trying to wake up early in the morning, at least by 6 o'clock. Take your bath. Right. So for devotees who chant early in the morning, very nice. For devotees who are not chanting early in the morning, please chant in the morning. For devotees who are chanting early in the morning, please take a bath and chant. Right. So all these simple things, not very difficult to follow. Okay. If possible, visit a holy dam where you can take a dip in a holy river. Right. You can go to Kaveri Mai, Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai, wherever. Not possible. My Guru Maharaj always recommends when you say Ganga, Ganga, Ganga 3 times when you're taking bath, you're inviting Ganga Devi and taking a bath. Okay, still take a bath. Okay, it's not a option to not take a bath and just tell Ganga, 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 but it's nice to at least do so much. How many of you are chanting 16 rounds? Okay, 5, 6 hands. How many of you are chanting 8 rounds plus 8 rounds? Nice, Mataji. How many of you are chanting 4 rounds? Very nice. How many of you are chanting at least 1 round? Okay. How many of you are not chanting? Some of you have not lifted hand for anything. So how do I understand? You have to fall in some bucket, right? Okay. So simple. Start today. At least 1 round. Please understand it's 1000 times the benefit. 1000 times. If you have even little bit of, let me try this path. Little bit of interest saying that अगर इसमें कुछ है तो मुझे दिखा दो. That's how we started, right? I wanted to know इसमें है क्या? एक बार ट्राई तो कर ही लेता हूँ. Then somewhere I got attracted, stayed back. Right? So there are people who start who probably drift off also. If you have little of the thought that let me try this, start chanting from today. Today is a nice day to start. You know how to chant 108 times Hare Krishna mantra, at least 1 round. And for devotees who are doing more than 1 round or 1 round plus, increase it by 1 more round or 2 more rounds. Okay, that's all. Not asking too much. People are doing 16 rounds can do 32 if possible. Otherwise, they can do 16 plus 2. Right? At least one round you can add this month. Understand? 1,000 times the benefit. Try eating prasadam. Try eating only prasadam. If that's not possible, try eating at least some prasadam through the day. And definitely possible, try being vegetarians. Please understand, we said do's, don'ts. Eating non-veg actually pulls you down. You're hurting another jiva. Okay, and people who have argument against vegetarian food and all that, please, please visit your leaders here. They will explain you. But at least vegetarian food and tell Sri Vishnu, show it to Jagannath. If you don't have Jagannath, have a photo or on mobile. Tell Jagannath that I have only these fruits or flowers or water or milk or whatever I have. I just want to show it to you, offer it to you. Please accept. And Jagannath understands our language. This month, try it out. Try out offering one ghee lamp, if possible, at home, like we do in Damodar month. It's very nice. The Lord just loves ghee items, and lamp is easy. I know some devotees here do a daily class, Gita Gyan classes, Gita Sar classes, and all that. Try joining the classes. Hearing is nice. There are very nice bhajans. So next week, if possible, you can do some Chaurashtakam, Nandanandashtakam. They are recommended if you can sing once or twice this month. Sing it together. You can put it on screen and you can do it. We did the Tulsi Palikrama. If you have Tulsi Mai at home, at least water Tulsi Mai, pay obeisances, right? This 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Purushottama Yoga. Purushottam Yoga, right? So it is recommended that we actually read this 15th chapter this month every day. It's only got 20 shlokas. This is the smallest chapter along with the 12th chapter. Only 20 shlokas. Okay. If you know the shlokas, it takes maximum 7 to 10 minutes to read, depending on your speed. Three shloka, read translation. Okay. If devotees have more time, they can read purpose also. Devotees have less time, read only the translation. If you have by hearted the shloka, then only recite the shloka while you're walking, while you're taking bath, whatever it is. So at least 15th chapter, every day to ho hi jayega. And if possible, definitely visit Jagannath this month. Jagannath is there, is welcoming, so all of you are there. I wouldn't come on the donation part. Charity is something that all of you are doing in some form or other. This center is running, so it's very nice to continue to do that. Here is your shortcut if you are interested to progress quickly in the spiritual path. Okay, so I've covered both the topics on raga dvesha, the attachment and aversion that we have or we shouldn't have, and what is the right way to get out, and the easiest path or quick progress that we can have during this Kartik month. So I'll stop here. I'm hoping I'm on time. So any questions, any comments anyone wants to add? Prabhu, can I start there? Yes, Prabhu. Lord is bigger or time is bigger? So there should be a session on Goloka, a Goloka chart, right? So there's a very nice topic, Prabhu. It says there is no influence of time in the spiritual world. Time doesn't exist. As in, time's influence doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Kali Yuga. Ah. Yes. Yes. Correct. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Very nice question, Prabhu. So your argument is half cooked. Okay, I'll tell you why. One time when Krishna came here, there was a Leela, Krishna Leela happening in the previous Yuga. I'll give an example and then come to your answer. So Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga, all of us know. So when Krishna came as a little child, this is there in the 10th kind of Bhagavatam, all the demigods came to visit. All the different devatas that are there, they came to visit Yashoda Maya's place. Okay. When they all came, one of them went and asked Surya Dev, come, let's go. Krishna has come. Surya says, no, I have to go around for the day and night to happen. And this is my service to Krishna. I can't leave this service and come. He will punish me. Time. is under the control of the Lord. Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita is Kalosmin Bharat. He says, I am the Kala. Time is me when it comes as an influence in the material world. Now your question is time bigger than God? There is a spiritual world and a material world. You need to understand. When it comes to material world, the Lord follows a certain sequence because we are time bound. Here, any conversation you have is bound by time. I will go here when I will eat this when you understand this concept of time is very much there in the material world. In this place where we have time bound, again that Goloka chat will help. I think you should definitely do that. Can have a nice session. Okay, we are time bound here. The Lord also tells what is a good time, what is a bad time for you. All of us are going through different times. In those times where you can become favorable, He gives you time like this Adhikamas, a Damodar month, and He also tells you when He will come personally, when He will come and send His representatives and all that. So He is not bound by time, but rather He creates that atmosphere so that we understand the influence of time in our life. And that's what the astrologers do. The astrologers can calculate the time. That is why there is astrology as a science. Astrology is not fake, right? So it's a science. And they calculate using the time. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Okay. Okay. The nice simple question. These are all there. Shastras answer them very, very simple. The question is, why did God create bad things? Okay. Oh, very nice, bro. It's a very, very important question. Very simple question. So when the government is formed, they also create jail. Government also does. Why? Whom? The government can put the rule, don't do mistakes. So the Shastra say, Krishna Bahirmukha Jiva Bhogavancha Kare. Right? So people, you go behind Krishna is dark, no? Person behind Krishna is the wrong part of it. He didn't create, he's Sarvakarana Karanam. He creates all things. Or he's the cause of everything. There is something called do this which is good. If you don't do this, that becomes bad, right? And so, what is darkness? Is darkness created? Thank you. Absence of light is darkness. Absence of goodness becomes the bad. It's not that someone created bad. Bad is this absence of the good things that happen. Lord is at the end of the cause of everything. Why does He create? Because we have such desires. Okay. So, how many of us have a desire to tell a lie and get benefited? Someone has, okay, if someone tells that you can copy in this exam, you get more marks, but no one is going to watch you, probably I will also copy, right? That is automatically innate in the living entity. That is my free will to do. That is given to me. Now comes my integrity question. Am I okay to do good things only? If no one is watching, will I actually cross the signal? All the drivers here, right? So no one is watching in Bangalore traffic. अरे signal में कोई नहीं है, चलते हैं, right? Good or bad? Rule is created to follow the signal. Rule is created, be safe when you follow signal. Still you break it. That is what is bad. That is how the whole creation happens. Okay, why does He create bad? Because there are people who are waiting to do bad things. Okay, Prabhu, we'll move on. You have more questions, but it's a very nice question. There's a book called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. The book should be available here. Yeah, take that book and read. You will get some of these questions answered. These are very nice questions. And also read Bhagavad Gita's introduction. Bhagavad Gita, you have the book, I'm hoping. The very introduction of Bhagavad Gita runs to about 32 pages. Okay. Take time in this Purushottam month. That might be your Adhik Mas service. Read that in depth. Mark notes. You'll get a lot of answers clarified. You have nice questions, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Prabhu, Mataji, he's waiting. Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, one second. Murli Priya Prabhu, you can tell me when to stop. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Signal breaking is a bad thing. Shastra says you follow what is the rule of the land. Shastra says follow the rule of the land. So Krishna tells Arjuna, you kill these people because they are miscreants. And someone says that, okay, I will kill in the name of jihad. We sit here, we'll tell that, oh, jihad is wrong. But someone else is reading the same instruction given saying that, okay, anyone वो काफिर है उसको मार देना तुमको जन्नत मिलेगा. That is the statement. Is it killing right or wrong? So the law of the land we should understand. Okay, signal breaking, is it right or wrong? It is integrity question. And in Krishna consciousness, I said the fifth alphabet was E, etiquettes. Integrity is one of your etiquette. If no one is watching, am I able to behave properly? That tests my reality. अरे कोई नहीं देख रहा है मोबाइल में मैं कुछ भी देख सकता हूँ कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ रियल if I'm with my wife and children and everyone I can't play video game or I can't watch unnecessary movies because मेरा इज्जत का क्या होगा कोई नहीं देख रहा है मैं कुछ भी कर लूंगा that is what is breaking the signal right it's a question of integrity you may not be materially punished for it is there a shastric punishment you will get it I do not know okay karmic has its reactions you break a signal someone else who's coming on the right way and he sees you going fast breaking the signal he gets a shock you get a reaction उसका जो भी कर्म है आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा in simple okay the law is meant for a certain purpose and following it keeps us safe okay and best part is when you follow it if no one is watching the lord is still watching you the paramatma is watching ये बंदा अभी भी कर रहा है ठीक कर रहा है that works for your favor the lord is very happy when the lord is happy with you progress happens like this we are absolutely safe when you act for shastra correct oh yeah. No, when you try to cheat materially, then shastrically also you will have a tendency to cheat. Don't do that. So integrity works, Prabhu. Integrity is a very important quality to develop as we progress in Krishna consciousness. Yes, Prabhu. ये भी आपका क्वेश्चन टालते रहे. No, the simple answer is change your friendship, Prabhu. Being mindful, being judgmental, very subjective answer. Okay, I'll tell you how this works, Prabhu. There are deep-rooted impressions that all of us have. जो आपने subtle बोला था, they are deep-rooted in us. आपको till you face it, you never know what will happen in that situation. Okay, tomorrow my son comes with 10th mark, then I will know how I will react. अब तो मैं chill हूँ, क्लास में भी बोल देता हूँ कि I'm not. जब वो आएगा तब पता चलेगा कि मेरे अंदर कितना काम क्रोध मोह लोभ मद मात्सर्य है कि how will I react, right? So that can happen to any of us. These are subtle and these are deep rooted. Okay, till it comes, we don't know. And when you're exposed to that, you might have reacted at that situation, right? So all of us have we have lost temper, we have lost our patience, we have lost whatever, right? So happens. That's when you go and tell the Lord कि मैंने जो कर दिया. Now I'm exposed to that. That is when you get the second test, you get the third time, you get the fourth time. Till you pass, you will be tested. Okay, and this happens with every situation that you have. Okay, ऐसे नहीं कि इस बार ठीक है उसने अपना शादी पे नहीं बुलाया यू आर वेरी बैडली हर्ट अरे उसने बाइक तो मैंने जब बाइक खरीदा वो मेरे साथ आया था वो सेड दिस कलर डोंट टेक दिस डोंट डू दैट दिस इंजन इज दिस जब उसने कार लिया तो मुझे बुलाया भी नहीं उसने बोला भी नहीं कि उसने कार लिया हर्ट होता है right so these are the examples right so very close friends relatives our own parents or friends right so and that's where being mindful of it being conservative about having that expectations all that teachings will come fundamentally when you're exposed to a quality that you're not happy about go tell the lord that I'm not happy and learn from that example that next time I do not do it. It's a progressive method, right? So अब हो गया अभी स्पीड में जा रहे हैं suddenly there is a bump, there is a brake लग गया, my speed is not picking up, I should not stop, I should continue. तो I understand कि अच्छा इस बार ठीक नहीं हुआ, अगली बार ठीक कर लेंगे. And you might have seen right? Flight example में sometimes they try to take off and then they continue, they slow down and then they again pick up speed. हो सकता है, right? So it might take some time. Yes, bro.